Hi there, this is Datila, and welcome to the Wrestling Time Post Show. It is Monday, November 10th, 2025, and tonight I'll be talking about Monday Night Raw. All right, so tonight was the start of the last time is now tournament to figure out who will face John Cena in his final match at Saturday night's main event. And that wasn't all. We also had a women's tag team title match. But let's kick things off talking about this opening segment. Now, normally the opening segment, opens or sets up the main event. That wasn't the case here. And also, too, we didn't get the Vision opening Raw, which was good. This was John Cena's final time in Boston, Massachusetts. So, of course, they were going to make a big deal out of this. So, it's Triple H actually opens the show, and he basically starts talking about how who the GOAT is subjective. Everybody has a different opinion on who the GOAT is. And he introduces John Cena, of course, in his hometown of Boston. And so John Cena starts cutting a promo and talking about how he's been asked what he would like to face. The crowd starts chanting, "Thank you, Cena." And, what was his goal in all of this? He basically says that he wants to leave the business better than how he founded it. And, the whole purpose of this tournament is to get superstars the opportunity to see they retire John Cena. And he announces that at Saturday night's main event, it's also the time to shine and showcase your skills. So it's going to be a lot of NXT matches at Saturday night's main event. I was saying there would never be another John Cena. Nope. There would never be another John Cena. So basically, this whole segment, now it was rumored that there was a match. It was rumored that it was going to be John Cena versus Dominik Mysterio. Let me see. It'll hit us when he retires the shorts. Oh, definitely it will. And that's what this opening segment did. It set up John Cena versus Dominik Mysterio. So basically, Dominik interrupts John Cena, and he says in Spanish that who the hell pretty much gave Triple H the authority to do all this, and what he was thinking. He runs the place. And so, Dom puts his foot in his mouth, and Triple H makes a match that takes place tonight. John Cena versus Dominik Mysterio for that IC title. Now, as we all know, the IC title is one title that John Cena has not won in his career. So the question was, would he be able to capture the IC title? We had the IC title match, John Cena versus Dominik Mysterio here. Now, I actually really like this match. That was a fun match. Of course, Dirty Dom trying to cheat in this match. He did the Three Amigos to John Cena. And we also had an homage to the late Eddie Guerrero with the chair trick. Oh my God. Dom tried to do the chair trick, but then John Cena also put himself down and he winked, which I thought was so hilarious here. But needless to say, John Cena is victorious, and he finally becomes a Grand Slam champion by defeating Dominik Mysterio here. So I was so happy for John Cena. It cuts to the back, and he's celebrating with everybody, and Rey Mysterio tells John Cena that Dom needed that good ass kicking. And Cody Rhodes congratulates John Cena. So this was just a feel-good moment. And obviously, whoever wins the tournament is going to face John Cena at Saturday night's main event for that IC title, which the rumor has it is Gunter. And he is confirmed to have a match next week against Javon Evans. And also we're going to have Solo Sikoa versus a surprise opponent. And we're going to find out live on Monday. So this was John Cena's first ever shot at that title too. Oh yeah, that's true. Good point, Ayo. Now, who do you guys think is going to be Solo Sikoa's mystery opponent? They're in New York. They're going to be in New York. So could it be the Long Island IZ? The also call him Zack Ryder, but Matt Cardona. Who do you guys think it is? Is it possible? Now, this is just a long shot, but is it possible? Maybe it's Chris Jericho? He hasn't been in AEW in a while, so I don't know what his status is, but could it be? If it's not Jericho, it's not Matt Cardona, and it's not Joe Henry, who could it be? Maybe someone from NXT, but I feel like if it was someone from NXT, they would have announced it because they announced Javon Evans. So who do you guys think it is? Let me know in the comment section or in the live chat who you guys think it is. It would be so cool if it would be Edge, but obviously that's not happening. But we just gotta wait and see who their surprise opponent is going to be. So we get the first match of the last now tournament, and it's Damian Priest versus Russev. And I thought this was a decent match. Sorry about that. I thought this was a decent match, and I like how Rusev does the "you can't see me." So who could forget the rivalry between John Cena and Rusev? Oh, that was quite a rivalry. And then, well, actually, you know what? Another someone else that came to mind who could be the opponent. What if it's JBL? JBL and John Cena have a history together too. So what if it's JBL? But anywho, Rusev defeats Damian Priest and he does "You Can't See Me." So the second match in this tournament is Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sheamus. No surprise, Sheamus is victorious here. I was not expecting Shinsuke Nakamura to win here, and it seems like we're gonna get Rusev versus Sheamus again probably in the round 2. But also a good match between Sheamus and Nakamura. But like I said, was not expecting Nakamura to win. We get an Adam Pearce segment, and basically, Dragon Lee and AJ Styles tell him that he's ready for their Pearce. So Dragon Lee suggests a team name of Los Dragons con Estilo, and the dragons with style. But it's too long. I mean, I know there's that joke with AJ Lee, but they can't call themselves that. I like the Phenomenal Dragons. I think it was suggested on commentary, the Phenomenal Dragons. I think that's a good tag team name. But man, do I feel sorry for Joaquin Wild and Cruz del Toro because LWO is pretty much dead. I mean, they just took Dragon Lee from that faction and put him in a random tag team with AJ Styles instead of, maybe sticking with the LWO. But needless to say, I wonder what their team name is going to be. Oh, and then we also find out that Maxine is ready to face Becky Lynch, which she will face Becky Lynch next week on Raw. And this causes Becky to attack Maxine. Now, you have to give it to Becky. She gave Maxine the best match of her career. She looked like a star out there against Becky. Do I think she'll win? No, I don't think she'll win. But I think that she'll get a good match out of her. So you get CM Punk going out there, calling out Logan Paul. If you guys remember last week, Logan Paul basically punched CM Punk, so he wanted revenge. So they used this to set up the War Games, the men's War Games match, I might add, because, CM Punk went out there and he called out Logan Paul. And Logan Paul came out, but he didn't come out at all. He came out with the Vision. And then, of course, they were going to surround the ring, but Cody and Jey Uso came out to help CM Punk. And, when they go backstage, the whole point of this was to set up the men's War Game match. And we got a surprise appearance by William Regal, who announced War Games. I think that's the first time he says it since he returned to WWE. So it was nice to hear William Regal say War Games again. We get the women's world title match. It's Stephanie Vaquer versus Raquel Rodriguez. And, of course, Stephanie Vaquer wins, but Nikki Bella attacks Stephanie Vaquer and holds the title. No surprise there. I felt like that's what they were building to here. Do I think Nikki Bella is going to beat Stephanie Vaquer? No, I don't think so at all. And last but certainly not least, the main event ends up being the women's tag team title match: Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair versus the Kabuki Warriors. Now, the Kabuki Warriors defeat Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss here with the help of Nia Jax and Lash Legend here. And then a brawl breaks out between all the women here. Io Sky and Rhea Ripley come out, and Rhea Ripley basically calls for War Games. Never trust a bell. LOL. That's funny. So there we have it. Not only do we get the last time is now tournament matches, but we also got the setup for the War Games matches. Now it's interesting because both of these teams, like the men's has three and the women's seems like they have four. So when it comes to the men, who do you guys think they're gonna be the final members? Because I honestly think they're gonna add. It's gonna be 4-on-4 for the men. Who do you guys think they're going to add? Could it be Brock Lesnar, John Cena? Is John Cena going to compete in his first ever War Games match? That would kind of make sense because there's a connection with Heyman and Lesnar there. So, who do you think would be added to the men's? For the women's, there's already four, but if the rumors are true, they could probably add Becky and AJ Lee. So if they're going to add Becky and AJ Lee to the women's War Games match, they have to start the build next week because there's only, I think, 2 weeks left for this War Games, for this Survivor Series. I will actually be at Survivor Series. Anyone can be. Oh, I know anybody can be added. I'm just saying, if you could add somebody to the team, who would you add? The men's, obviously, they need to add somebody. The women's, they could just leave like that. It's 4-on-4. But if they're going to add somebody, Becky and AJ Lee would probably be added to those to that. But men's, I think maybe Cena, maybe Lesnar. I think that's for the men's. I can't think of anybody else who would fit with this group. But let me know in the comment section and live chat, who do you guys think will be added to the War Games matches, the men's and maybe women's. But with that being said, you guys, thank you guys all so much for watching and for the continued support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a video. And I'll see you guys Friday after SmackDown. Bye.